Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. In today's video, we're going to be talking about this brand new Hellboy photo that we have here. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about that we have this awesome looking Hellboy poster here. And as you can see, the release date says April 12th. So this movie's coming along fairly quickly. And I want to talk about, obviously, first off, Hellboy is looking awesome here, right? Like this poster just like completely kicks ass. He's got the full on horns going on. He's got the rock arm, and he's got the this bladed sword with flames just oozing off of it. So this is a pretty sweet poster just off the top of the hand. But with that being said, like I said, it's coming very soon. So we want to see a trailer, right? We want to see a trailer pretty soon. I think we're going to be getting that pretty fairly quickly. I'd say within the next couple of weeks or so. That'd be my estimate, because we have the director Neil Marshall who's talking to Empire magazine, and he's given us some more details about how this movie is going to be. And he says, that it's going to be more violent and it's going to be bloody, and that he's going more back to the horror roots, whereas Guillermo del Toro's Ron Perlman's Hellboy, he was a little more like chill, like someone you wouldn't mind grabbing a beer with. But it looks like this adaptation of Hellboy is going to be in a going into that hardened horror territory, which is something that I would prefer. And he said that it's going to be a gore-soaked R-rated incarnation. And he said it was always a case of when in doubt, just go back to the source material, because some of the stuff in there is pretty sick. That's what he told Empire Magazine. So this really excites me, because you guys know, obviously, if you're on this channel, that I'm a big horror movie fan and a horror buff. So these types of things right here get me excited for what this movie is potential is, because I think there's a ton of potential with this being a great horror film and just comic book adaptation in general. Because when you think about movies like Split, which is it's not based off a comic book, but M. Night Shyamalan's vision with that was always to have it be comic book inspired with horror elements put in there, and I think that's worked out pretty well for him. So I have high hope with Neil Marshall doing the exact same thing, because when you think about Neil Marshall as a director, his movies, you go back to The Descent and you go to Dog Soldiers. I remember renting Dog Soldiers at Blockbuster. Those are two really good horror flicks. If you haven't seen them, you should do yourself a favor and check them out. But I have faith that he's going to bring the horror and the scares and the cool action and the rated R stuff that we want to see as Hellboy fans. And I think that David Harbour from Stranger Things, man, he's one of the best things about that series on Netflix. So I have faith in what they're going to do with Hellboy. And I think that overall this is going to be a great film. I really cannot wait to see it. And going back to that photo from Empire Magazine, Hellboy he's looking pretty sweet, man. I'm really excited for that first trailer, because he, in all these still images that we've got from him, he looks spectacular, man. He looks magnificent. He really does. You see the cut off horns here. He's got the luscious hair, flowing back. Again, the hardened rock fist, and just he's got the gun in his holster there. He's got the sweet trench coat, and if you actually pay attention to his body, you see that there's a bunch of scars in there. So there's a lot of potential with this new Hellboy film to delve more maybe into his backstory and just stuff that he's been through, because of course Hellboy's a tough guy and all that. But something that I really like about the comics, and even in the Guillermo del Toro version, is that they really tried to, he uses like sarcasm and jokes to try and, hide the feelings that that he has inside of him. So he's a very complex character. I think that David Harbour's going to do a fantastic job bringing him to life, and I cannot wait for this film to finally get a trailer. But that's been all the news that we have right now for you guys, and not too much, but man, I really am looking forward to getting that first trailer. But anyways, guys, if you like this type of movie news content, go ahead and leave a like on this video, as it does help on my small channel a whole bunch. And if you like what you see here, you go ahead and subscribe too. That'd be much appreciated. But until next time, guys, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.